Pakistan has been perpetuating terrorism in India's Jammu and Kashmir for decades. This has led to the deaths of thousands of innocent people and has caused immense suffering to the people of the region. In the past few months, there have been a number of deadly attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, including the recent Anantnag encounter, which resulted in the death of 4 security personnel. Recently, a Kashmiri socio-political activist criticized Pakistan for sponsoring terrorism in India's union territory of Jammu and Kashmir in an intervention at the 54th session of UN Human Rights Council.
Jammu and Kashmir has endured immense suffering due to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, with violence, bloodshed, and fear plaguing the region for decades. This terrorism has claimed countless innocent lives. According to government data, around 41,000 people, consisting of 14,000 civilians, 5,000 security personnel, and 22,000 militants, have died because of the insurgency as of March 2017. Recently, Kashmiri activist Taslima Akhtar denounced Pakistan's role in sponsoring terrorism during her address at the 54th session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. Hailing from Srinagar, she was tirelessly worked as a social activist, shedding light on the untold stories of the terrorism's victims in the valley.
I have been working as a social activist, exploring the cases of untold stories of atrocities committed on the innocent victims of terrorism in the valley. Unfortunately, since my childhood, I have witnessed violence and killings of innocent persons by Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, unbearable sufferings of women, children, old and young alike at the hands of these terrorists have led me to work for the cause of seeking justice for the families of victims. I have come across fearful stories of acts of terror and massacres.
Following the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019, India intensified its diplomatic efforts to expose Pakistan's state-sponsored terrorism and gain international condemnation. By presenting the stark reality of cross-border terrorism, India effectively dismantled Pakistan's narrative, isolating it on the global stage. Furthermore, investigative agencies have launched a crackdown on separatist organizations like Jamaat-e-Islami Jammu and Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. These organizations received funding from Pakistan with the aim of keeping unrest alive in Jammu and Kashmir. Funds flowed through various channels, including illicit activities like drug trafficking, smuggling, and extortion. The money financed weapons, terrorist training, and acts of violence. These organizations disguise themselves as charities, religious institutions, and socio-cultural bodies to evade suspicion while actively promoting terrorism and radical ideologies.
The total control of POK is under Pakistani Army and spy agency ISI, and that is the only reason POK has become safe haven for terrorist organizations. Pakistan is pushing, terrorists and getting our youth into this terrorist act or this kind of extremist mindset is very worrisome, and I think this is high time for us. This is high time for Indian government to take final call to destroy terror industry across border.
Whether through terror attacks, illicit drugs, or radicalization of Kashmiri youth, Pakistan continues its anti-Indian activities. Islamabad's fixation on Kashmir has deprived its own people of food and development, despite internal instability, a faltering economy, and the international isolation. Pakistan remains unwavering in its support for terrorists, regardless of the consequences.